Multitasking is a great skill to have. And like all skills, some are just naturally better at it than others. For example, some people can sleep and walk at the same time. That's right, it's called sleepwalking. Look it up. If you are familiar with sleepwalking, you'd probably know that people say that you should never wake a sleepwalker. But why would you do this? Why would you be warned not to wake someone who's participating in the very disconcerting act of sleeping and walking? If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Snooze Insider and click on the bell icon to get notified for our latest videos. Information on everything we've talked about will be in the description below. It appears that there might be a very valid reason why people do this silly thing of sleeping and walking at the same time. But before we understand why people say you shouldn't wake someone who sleepwalks, it's important to know why people sleepwalk in the first place. Do people just decide to start walking in their sleep because they think it's a fun prank? Or is there an actual reason why they decide to go on this fun but deeply disconcerting adventure? Well, there's no one reason for sleepwalking. There are actually a lot of reasons for it. The first reason is stress. A lot of studies have shown that people who experience stressful incidents during the day are more likely to sleepwalk than those who don't. This, of course, is kind of ironic. Walking during your sleep is certainly not a way to reduce stress. It's a way to even share that stress, as most people generally don't feel great watching someone stumble around in the dark like a sleeping ghost. Another reason is migraines. That's right, a severe headache makes you more likely to sleepwalk than other people. There are also a lot of other reasons like fever, breathing disorders, and restless leg syndrome, which should surprise no one. We mean, if you have restless leg syndrome, you're probably going to sleepwalk, and do other kinds of walks too. It kind of comes with the name. So what happens when these people sleepwalk? What goes through their minds? First off, people who sleepwalk don't always look like it. Some of them can walk out of their bedroom and even drive to get gas. And they can do all of these things with their eyes wide open. They usually don't recognize anyone and mostly just look without seeing. That is, instead of looking at you, they'll look past you. Now that's definitely a little creepy. And if you talk to them, they generally don't respond, or they say things that don't make sense, like the entire movie script for Cats. If you've watched that movie, you know what I mean. So, when you meet someone sleepwalking, is it a good thing to wake them up? Or should you allow them to get what they want at the supermarket and let them go home? According to scientists, it isn't dangerous to wake a sleepwalker. It won't cause their brain to short circuit and go into flames, even though it seems like that should be the case. It isn't the case at all. In fact, scientists say that the biggest danger with waking someone who's sleepwalking is the fact that it would severely disorient them. Think about it. If someone suddenly woke you up and you found yourself in the middle of Walmart in your pajamas at 2 a.m. with a can of beer in your left hand and a bundle of carrots in your right hand, you'd be pretty disoriented too. So, what do you do when you see a sleepwalker walking around with dead eyes and replying to every one of your questions with a terrible rendition of Justin Bieber's Baby? Do you inform them, very sternly, that their voice is terrible and the song wasn't even that bad? Or do you wake them up? Scientists say you should do neither. Instead, they say that you should try to ease them back to bed without making forceful attempts. If you're unsuccessful at doing that, you should watch closely to assure their safety and try again later. Yes, this means that you still shouldn't wake a sleepwalker up, since waking them up does nothing but disorient them. Just leave them be and let them wander about while looking after them and making sure they are safe. That shouldn't be too hard to manage, should it? Do you have a crazy story about sleepwalking? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up so we can continue making more. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the bell notification. Share this with a friend if you think they may need a little wake-up call. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Until then, sleep well.